Let's party to the rhythm of peanut butter and jam.
Hey guys, it's Adya here. Welcome to another episode of PB&J. Here we have Jacob from 3yakov. Jacob, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Jacob. I'm the founder of 3yakov, the first credit-based money market on Ethereum.
Man, that's short and sweet, man. Dude, the last time I saw you versus right now, dude, you have an insane glow up. Like, I love the background. I love the chair. I love the black outfit. Dude, it's just founder mode and killing it, man. I love it. I love 3yakov in a lot of ways because I think fun story is I first saw your message in the Opacity Network group and I messaged you from there and I was like, hey dude, what's up? We do this at Reclaim as well. You wanna check us out? And I think we had an async conversation up until that point. And I think things really started getting a lot of momentum. I think this one night where I was about to go sleep. So this is my bedroom. And I was about to go take a nap. I lied down. I was about to close my eyes. And you were like, hey, dude, I have a few doubts. Do you want to come on? It was like 2 a.m. here. And I remember I was like, okay, fuck it. The man's building something amazing. Let me just hop on a call. And I think from that point onwards, I think we all went on a very good momentum. Dude, I am pretty sure I missed a lot of things over there because I really probably fully grasped what you guys were shipping post that. You want to tell us how you kind of got the idea, how all of this kind of came into place? How was 3yakov born, essentially? Like, what motivated you to do this?
So quick background about me. I've been in crypto since 2017. I first started dipping my toes by writing crowd sale contracts during the ICO era. So it was like writing CryptoKitties contracts, and then I came back in DeFi summer and got really involved with Hedgic, which was the first peer-to-pool options protocol, and then subsequently joined Ribbon Finance as the founding engineer, and I scaled it up to hundreds of millions of TVL. And then internally, we spun out a product called Ribbon Lend, which was one of the first revolving credit facilities for market makers. So we give out unsecured lines of credit to Folkvang and Wintermute. So I've been thinking about unsecured lending since 2022, basically. And it's been this holy grail where everyone's been trying to solve this problem, primarily because it unlocks significant capital efficiency and credit expansion on Ethereum. So a lot of people have tried it every which way, but it didn't really work out, primarily because there was no robust credit risk infrastructure in place. And the second reason is because it's incredibly difficult to enforce collections across jurisdictions. So those two problems were basically impossible to solve since 2020. And then in 2024, a couple of things happened. The first was there were protocols like Blockchain Bureau and Credit Protocol that actually made significant headway in assessing creditworthiness on chain. So basically predicting the likelihood that you'll repay your Aave loan. And so they trained models on like hundreds of thousands of transactions, millions of transactions, and hundreds of thousands of loans. This is the first thing that happened. And then the second thing that happened that really sort of was like the aha moment for me was I actually tried playing around with zk-TLS. So, Deco, is a very old technology. It's been around for a very long time, but it was never commercial grade. So no one could really deploy it in production. But Reclaim was one of the first to actually enable it. And so I tried the Credit Karma integration. I think this was in September. And like my mind was blown because it's like when I can trustlessly and in a privacy preserving manner extract your off-chain traditional credit data. It is a significant unlock because it means you can actually do sustainable and scalable underwriting in crypto, which was like, you couldn't do that before. The second thing was you could leverage Plaid to actually build up a very robust and low overhead onboarding mechanism so that you have that recourse if you need it within the United States. So like three things all align, and it's like, okay, it's time to actually bring this to market. And so yeah, that was in September.
Lovely, mate.
Building it since.
So I think it's just been less than 6 months then. Where do you guys go in maybe 6 months down the line? What vision do you have in terms of 3chain? Where do you see yourself going? And I had a very personal question as well. Why are you guys building natively on Ethereum Foundation, like rather than maybe building on any of the L2s that are out there? Presumably, like something like Base.
Yeah. So I'll first address like the first question. The way I see the evolution of 3chain is in two acts. The first act is, okay, we can already unlock significant capital efficiency and borrowing power for asset-rich crypto natives, mass affluent, high net worth individuals who have their assets spread across multiple farms, multiple venues, and traditional money markets don't really have visibility into that. So we can unlock significant borrowing power for that demographic. So that's act one. But the real sort of North Star for us is to actually enable true like revenue based underwriting. And that's where it's more targeting towards businesses and AI agents, where you can actually extend credit against future productivity. These are asset poor, high productivity entities that would be able to scale the Ethereum economic activity. So you're basically borrowing against future growth. And that's a concept that's completely missing from Ethereum. And so yeah, credit is very restricted. And so our thesis is that's partially why it hasn't been growing as much. To answer your second question, I strongly believe that anything that transfers significant value should be have as little trust assumptions as possible. And so lending is a relatively low cadence sort of activity where you don't need high transaction speeds like a perp dex would. So you don't really need the benefits that come with an L2, but you do need the benefits that come with an L1. So Ethereum is just a natural place for something like the first credit-based money market to be.
Where you say in between that AI is also going to play a huge role in this. Where do you see AI coming to play a role in lending?
Yeah, so this is all obviously pretty abstract, at least for now. But the way we're thinking about it is, I mean, the first step is AI agents might act as intermediaries in terms of doing yield farming for you. Like that would be the first step. And so for them, if there's a way where you can make these agents verifiable in the sense that you make them more deterministic and you mitigate hallucination risks, then they're the perfect sort of target for unsecured lending because you bring down the default risk significantly compared to humans. So unsecured makes a lot of sense for them. And then eventually later down the road, we think if agents start playing a greater role within a business's productivity, then they're going to need capital to scale the business, and sort of humans might be increasingly out of the loop. And so you can think of 3chain as sort of being the bank for the agentic economy later down the line. But that's like on a decade sort of timeline.
Crazy, man. I do see it coming together. Another question that I had primarily for you guys is, you said that you would think of 3chain in like two arcs. That maybe 2x. Yep. So maybe down the line in like a decade or so, you guys would have AI agents, all that. But how do you see, like, where do you see the real world data kind of coming in and fitting into either one of the acts? Like, maybe backtracking a little bit, you said that crypto never had access to these data points like Credit Karma previously. And technology like ZKTLS has been such a huge unlock. Was that ever a part of the act, or was that just something that just blended into everything and just like it all blended together, or was like something that you actually thought of?
Well, it enables the first act. The first act being humans are the borrowers, and they have extensive credit data that exists off chain, and this allows us to increase the approval rates and lower the interest rates such that the cost of capital actually makes sense. Because imagine you don't have access to off-chain credit data, you don't really have much to work with besides on-chain data, and so the way you're going to sort of compensate for that is either not give out a loan, or B, give out a loan at a very high interest rate that is unattractive to borrowers. So getting off-chain credit data sort of brings confidence to the underwriting such that lenders are willing to accept a lower interest rate. And at the same time, it's also a very competitive interest rate for borrowers. So it sort of compresses that interest rate spread, which is crucial for the economics to work out, because otherwise it would really never work out.
I mean, it does make sense when you can't think about it like that. The reason why I was asking this is because my last PB&J episode was with the Vana co-founder. So it really kind of opened my eyes when it came to data and how important it is. And especially when you put something like that in the hands of lending, which is something that's never been done before, and people are just okay with it. Like, we've had centralized lending for so long, just in terms of banks, just in terms of the way they operate. It's so weird to see a product like this and then think like this is how it should have been from the very beginning. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, financial evolution happens in stages. You never get to the terminal state at once.
It's crazy where the world's headed right now. And yeah, man, one of my major questions was also around why, like, you answered that question like previously itself, why you guys chose Ethereum, and how I love the line where you're like, we can remove all the trust assumptions around the L2s and just go drive straight into the L1s. I think that made a lot of sense. And I do feel like, very personally, I feel like a lot of people, why they go with the L2s is to maybe get more amplification in terms of marketing and just more reach. Does that make sense? I feel like a lot of products that are coming out, they're getting very heavy support from these L2s, which is something that I've not seen you leverage yet.
We think the product innovation will speak for itself and sort of do its own marketing. We just need to execute it. It's like a completely new DeFi primitive, so I'm really not concerned about.
And Rudy, you want to show everybody a small quick demo of maybe 3J, and then also show them maybe how you've incorporated ZKTLS into all this? What was the inspiration behind the website, dude? I mean, to be very fair, it's one of the best looking websites that I've seen in crypto so far.
Oh, well, I haven't revealed to the public yet, but I'll tell you. Yeah, I mean, it's our designer is just amazing. Like, we just targeted simplicity, like lend, borrow, and then information about sort of the backing of the pool.
Yeah, man. Also, thank you so much for joining, dude. I mean, it's been a pleasure as always, just rocking with you. I feel like you've been killing with all of the noise on Twitter. Yeah, man. And we are always very willing and happy to help amplify anything. Yeah, man. You guys are building something super interesting, and I'm definitely bullish on you guys. And I would love to catch up for a coffee whenever I'm in New York.